Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And since the meta patches have not been released at all, so I figured, I guess this is a good time to release a build. And a build that I haven't released yet, which is the Valley Amplifier. So I'm going to cover that today. Alright, and the Valley Amplifier is the amp that will have both the mist pods and the UFO wave spawning, which has both of them which have a ton of smashers that you have to deal with, right? And the Valley Amplifier is a little bit trickier to deal with the smashers, right? If you want to build a proper build. But today we're going to use some little cheesy strategies to deal with the smashers, right? So I saw what whitestreamz did, which he built a smasher bridge, right? So smasher bridge would essentially loop the smashers over and over again to try to take out the last tile set that's connected to the amplifier, right? Right, and I thought that was a really good idea, right? It's an interesting way to cheese it. Well, I say cheese, but I think that is relative to whoever is doing it. But I thought maybe you can probably improve on that, right? So Ark also created a version of the bridge build, right? Which I also adapted to. And in this particular bridge is that it's launching the smashers right off the edge, right, and they fall down, and then you loop them on the geyser, right? You path them on the geyser and you just keep on looping them forever, right? So that all you have to do is drop once and forget, right? And the smashers will be looped forever. You don't have to worry about them at all, and you can focus on doing your thing, right? And I was like, that's pretty cool, right? So, and I tried to create something else. So Ark's build, right? That's a really cool cheesy way to do it. But this is a really interesting cheese method that I came up with, right? And this particular cheese method is what I'm going to do is that instead of having the smashers pass through the amplifier, right, and then trying to loop them in a certain way so that they don't start breaking your builds, is that I'm simply just going to not have the smashers go to my amp at all and just have them go towards me, right? So in order to do that, you have to change the smasher AI from amp destroying mode into assassin type mode. So we're going to change the smashers and propanes as a result into assassin husk, right? So for the Valley Amplifier in particular, right, in order to achieve that, all you have to do is build like this, right? You have 4 poles over here, 4 poles over here, and then these little archways on the roof, and that is it. And then all I have to do is make sure I get up here, right? I get up here, right behind the spawn, right? So anywhere behind the spawn is okay, because then they'll follow you. And that's it. And then all the smashers will just come right below me and just not do much. They'll just kind of chill, along with the various other assassin husks, right? So as a result of that, right, so all the regular assassin husks are going to be trying to target you. The smashers turn into assassin husks, which are going to be targeting you. The propanes are going to be changed to assassin husks, which are going to be targeting you. So your tunnels are actually not going to have very many husks, especially for the UFO and smasher wave, which don't have many other husks because they're being taken up by the assassin husks and the smashers, right? So this actually makes a very, very easy amp to defend and build for if you're standing behind the spawn, right? So, but because I'm standing behind the spawn, it's actually a little bit awkward to try to shoot down the UFO, right? So you have to use weapons that are very long range, right? Because I'm kind of pigeonholed into standing here. As well as a result, I can no longer quote-unquote AFK this amplifier, because if I'm somewhere else on the map, right? If I'm somewhere else on the map, the smashers are going to be targeting towards me, right? So I can't be on another amplifier. I have to be on this amplifier, stand behind here, right? I guess maybe I can be standing over here somewhere, here. All of them are all around this line, right? But I can't be somewhere else on the amplifier. I can't be pretty much on any other amp, right? I just have to be over here as a result. But which is okay, because the UFO wave, you're not supposed to AFK it. You're supposed to shoot down the damn UFO. So, but yeah, that's essentially it. The build. All right, so that's the end of the video. But if I could only say that. Yeah, all you have to do is build this, and then all the smashers, propanes, they'll be turned into assassin husks, and then they'll target you. And as well, just to note, for many of my builds, I've actually made it so that I stand behind the spawn, right? If I'm choosing not to AFK and I stand behind the spawn, and this makes things very stable. Not only all the assassin husks are going to be targeted towards you, right? The assassin husks are not going to be phasing through your walls, right? So sometimes you have little midgets trying to phase in through your walls, right? And a lot of times it can't be avoided, but if you just simply stand behind your spawn into a spot which takers can't get to you, then you're completely fine, right? You're completely fine, and it's a lot more stable defending this way by standing behind the spawn than just standing on the amplifier itself, right? It's a little bit counterintuitive that you have to stand behind the spawn and the actual amplifier to defend it. But you can only do this if you have confidence in your own tunneling, right? So your tunnels themselves have to be very strong to the point where you know that they will work. You know 100% they will work. If you know 100% they will work, then you just stand behind the spawn and just watch it, right? You stand behind the spawn, it makes it even more stable, right? But yeah, for everything else in this build, you can actually build whatever the hell you want. Like you can even build gas traps, broadsides, etc. Because in this particular amplifier, the propanes are not going to be in your tunnels at all, right? So if you want to, you can just build damage traps, right? And that'll be perfectly fine, right? In this particular case, I built a smaller kind of loopy loop, right? As you can see over here, right? So pretty much I path all the husks over here, right? And yep, that's it, right? But to make sure that the husks do not break this side over here, right? Flat floors over here, pyramids on top, right? And the walls on each side, and then one wall over here, and then pyramids, flat floor again, right? So that is 5 layers over here, and then this is the 6th layer over here, right? So it's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 layers over here to prevent the husks from pathing on this tile over here, right? And from behind that, and then you just have these regular full sandwiches, right? And you need the half floors in here because this is for the lava bomb shift, and those are also part of the lava bomb shift over there, right? And the lava bomb shift should, most of the time it lands in this 2x2, but sometimes it also lands over here. So you can also shift the lava bomb over here as well. Actually, so if you want to, you can also shift the lava bomb over here as well, right? But there's really no need to. Alright, so yeah, I think that should be it for this tunnel in general, right? There's not really much to say other than the fact that there's going to be some wall launchers, some delaying over here, right? And these floor launchers, essentially I'm just going to launch them all the way back to the spawn so that they just have to loop all the way back, right? So yeah, launcher. Now there's also this big huge lobber shield. This big huge lobber shield is important, right? So whatever you do for this valley amplifier, make sure you have a sufficient lobber shield. You're going to need a bigger lobber shield than you actually really think, because the lobber is the one that actually throws the damage balls, right? Those damage purple balls, they actually would target the tunnel. So to prevent them from targeting the tunnel over here, you need to build a sufficient lobber shield, right? So it is kind of big. But as long as you have that, you should be good to go, right? And essentially, I think all these floor launchers over here are 4 times, and these wall launchers are 4 times as well. This is 3 times. But the details of this build aren't really too important in my opinion, right? But the most important part is to make sure that you have this amplifier built as so, with the 12 structures in total, like this, and you're standing all the way up there, right? That's pretty much the most important part. As long as you get that, this tunneling should be cakewalk, really. You can build pretty much anything you want, as long as you can kill like as long as you can kill husky husks, or you can get them to loop over, then you're perfectly fine, right? Because there's not really much that's going to go in these tunnels other than just husky husks and regular husks, right? And I think that should be it for that part. And for this over here, there's going to be a simple block off, right? So this simple block off is just like this, as so. There is no half floors in here, as I shown in my previous video that the half floors, well, I didn't show, but I explained that the half floors actually really don't do much, right? And so I removed them all from my builds, right? And this is also additional layering, so this adds 2 additional layers over here, and as just as little trivia that smashers, even though that they can charge this, they can charge this, they can charge this, they can charge this, they charge all these, right? Right, and they also do charge these too, so they even charge these poles as well, but they never charge these flat floors. So as long as you put flat floors over here, they would never charge them, right? They would never ever charge them. They do charge these, however, so if you put half floors like these, they would do charge them, right? But the flat floors, if you put a full flat floor, they will never charge it. So you can actually use this as layering and still prevent them from, and still have them from not charging. So that is also a nice little detail to it. Right. It is unrelated to my build, but it is related to the build that I was doing previously with looping the smashers down into the cave down there, and then looping them with the geyser, right? So it's related to that build. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this build, right? You can just watch some gameplay of it, right? I have a few clips of it. But yeah. Alright. So go have fun building, guys, alright? And as well, I'm going to start testing this some more, see if I can apply this same method in regular missions, right? So if I can apply it in a data mission, if you can apply it in a Frostnite where you can just have all the propanes and the smashers path towards you instead of the actual burner or objective. And I'm thinking that could be useful, very useful for defending, right? All the assassin husks, all the smashers, all the propanes, and then all you have left in your tunnels is riot husks, husky husks, and regular husks, right? So yeah. But anyway, I also am using this build for the devil amplifier as another thing too. So the devil amplifier is another amp that I'm having troubles to try to figure out a really good build for smashers, to dealing with the smashers, right? And this is actually one way to make it extremely stable, where you just have all the smashers path to you like this, and as a consequence, all the propanes and the assassin husks would also path towards you, making your tunnels very light in density. But anyway, yeah, just let's go to some gameplay. All right, yeah.